Hello there, M. here, as we continue on with our making of the most horrible 3D animated short of all time. And this one's animatic phase. So if you remember in the last video we did our storyboard. So here's our storyboard that was drawn and just saved as PNG files. And then I'm working here in Adobe Premiere Pro because this is the one I'm using for my new movie. And I picked this one because pretty much all the editors are the same. Like they can cut and do inserts. There's really nothing. Don't let them, try to convince you that no, ours is more pro than like nah. If you can cut, they're all the same. But the reason I chose this one is because it's so tightly integrated with After Effects, and since After Effects is so tightly integrated with Cinema 4D, that was my choice. And yeah, the really only difference is like how tightly or not that they're integrated with other programs that you use. So that's how I base my choices. But Premiere is like a pretty dope program. I really like it. So inside of here we have the stills that are the storyboard frames. We have music, just a little music track that I did. And in the audio we have the voice clips and the sound effects, which I just like Googled anime sound effects and I found a bunch. Some dude ripped out a Gundam and all this stuff, so I got those. Then the voice clips, I play one of the characters, and then the other character, if you didn't know, the reason I have millions of dollar budgets on my pretentious crap movies, and the reason I get like huge art shows and well-known galleries and spill Vaseline on the floor is because I'm actually married to a really famous Icelandic pop singer. So that's the reason, because I just make pretentious garbage, but since I'm married to a famous person, that's the only reason I'm somehow relevant in this world. Yeah, so I just want to wait, I'm not relevant, and I'm not well known, and I'm not famous. I need to do something else, marriage. But first, we're going to do this video. And before that, we're going to watch the finished animatic. So we'll be like those cooking shows, or kind of like that. So this is the finished animatic. So this is what the finished film will be like. So when you're doing the animatic, if you don't like the animatic, then you're not going to like the movie. So you want to make the changes while you're there. But I think I kind of like this, so let's check it out.
Oh my god, that's perfect. This is so fucking cash, bitch. We're gonna make so much money on the internet with this. Oh yeah.
Are you sure that my money makers are really going to stack that paper? Oh my god, John Boy! There's a horrible motherfucking monster right behind you, bitch!
The only monster I see right now is these monster titties. Oh yeah.
Look out, John Boy! He's going to eat you!
The only thing he's gonna eat is my dick. And it's too bad for this sorry motherfucker that my dick
Fuck yeah!
is a lightsaber and shit.
Oh my god! The day is saved again by your lightsaber penis! Oh my god! Look at his penis! Go Zero! We need you!
Go Zero and shit, go Zero and shit, go Zero and shit, go motherfucker, go Zero and shit, go Zero and shit, go Zero and shit, go.
Fuck you!
So I'm pretty sure this will be the greatest film ever made that ends with a giant monster having sex with a car that's flying in the sky that was sent from heaven or something. So yeah. So the animatic, which I think, let's delete this, best be empty, is probably the most important part of production, or one of them. So, when you write your script, that's like your blueprint. I mean, in words, like your, I don't know, textual blueprint or something. And then your storyboard is like your visual blueprint. So, I mean, you don't stop messing with your storyboards until you really like the way they look and the way they flow. But there's no timing here. Like, we have these frames, but there's no sense of timing. So that's really what you're doing in the animatic, is figuring out the timing. Because you hear the lines.
Oh my god, that's perfect. This is so fucking cash, bitch.
And I mean, you see the shots. So this is where you decide. And I mean, from dialogue, when it's like two people talking back and forth, it's not that. I mean, just from reading the script and look at the storyboards, you can figure it out. But it's really the action scenes and when stuff's going on really fast, where you can see
It is. Oh, yeah.
whether what you wanted to do is going to work or not. So the animatic I found is just for really working out the timing. And I mean, you actually see
The only thing
like how long your film's
is
going
sorry,
to be.
motherfucker, that my dick
Fuck yeah.
is a lightsaber and shit.
Because it might be a lot longer or shorter than you really know, but until you get it in here and drop the lines down, and then you start to see what it really is. So I think, yeah, it's one of the most important aspects. And I know in live action film production, it's generally, I mean, some directors don't even storyboard stuff, let alone do animatics. But in animation, it's usually I mean, you have to do it. You have to flesh it out somehow. You can't just like, let's get it in 3D up and see what happens. I mean, you could, but I don't think that'll turn out so great, or in a reasonable amount of time. So when you're doing the animatic, it's just like you're cutting the movie. Because, you just have to use your imagination. I mean, these aren't very detailed at all. Thankfully, they're not, or else I would get banned from YouTube for nudity. So you're just dropping down, let's throw our music down here. You're just throwing down your stuff. Literally, in this scene, she's throwing down her stuff. So if we go in here and get some voice clips, let's get our dude's first line, wherever it is. I should have numbered mine. I wasn't as smart as Bjork was. She was like, see, she's famous. She's done this before, so she numbered hers. But I'm just some weirdo in the back room somewhere, and apparently I'm gonna have to get divorced because this isn't working out. I'm not famous. I don't have enough money. Money, yeah, money. Let's put the money line. Is that the right one?
Oh my god, that's perfect.
Oh, it
This
is.
is so fucking cash, bitch.
So we know we're gonna have to make this longer.
We're gonna make so much money on the internet with this.
And actually, we have, if you remember, we did this in 2 shots. So then I can go and put the second piece. Because this is the same shot. It's
So
supposed to be
much
pulling
money
back.
on the internet with this. Oh yeah.
So usually when I'm doing that to denote, usually use dissolves to denote like a passing of time or whatever, but I don't like to use dissolves that much. So this is just the same
So
shot.
much
So
money on the internet with this.
I usually put those so that I know that it's the same shot, just pulling back, or a second part of the same shot. So here's our master shot.
Oh yeah.
And she has her line, which thankfully she's smarter than me since she's famous and all that. She actually numbered it.
Are you
But let's make this a little shorter. And I mean, there's all these other tools, like I should probably use these, like slip, slide, and ripple and all that, but I've just been editing so ghetto for so long, I just use the real basic tools. So that's why I was saying, like, all these editors are the same. I mean, some might have some other extra tools that are fancier than next, but if you're just like overwriting, inserting, cutting with your razor, and just doing stuff, they're all the same. You can get the job done. Editing is pretty simple.
Yeah.
Are you sure that my moneymakers are really going to stack that paper?
So here's something that a little sound effect could help, because it's supposed to be a shot that's like longer, further shot. So, and it's supposed to show their desolation or something. So let's get, I think in one of those there was like some wind or something. So let's grab some wind, put it on here. And the reason I'm not double clicking and auditioning these is because it screws up this screen capture program. So normally I would listen to it before I put it down.
Yeah.
Are you sure that my moneymakers are really going to stack that paper?
And to be correct, like I tried to do in the other one, since it's further away, she would have some delay and like some EQing on her voice, because it's supposed to be further away. But we're just gonna do this one like super basic. So we're not searching for wind anymore. And let's go get the clip number 3. So when you're doing dialogue stuff, I mean, you can kind of guess the timing by just looking at your storyboards and stuff, but it's really when you get into the action scenes, that's where your animatic really pays off, because you see if the pacing is going to work or not. And if there's any redundant stuff, like in the final one, I took out one of the lines here, because on paper, let's see, where was it? So in between this line,
Go Zero! We need you!
So actually between this one.
My God, look at his penis.
So then I had another line by the John Boy guy before it went into the song part.
Go Zero.
But by looking at the timing and just like feeling how it was in the animatic, it just felt that that line was redundant and kind of held back the momentum at that point. So then I just cut it out. So that's what your animatic's for. I usually end up cutting tons of stuff out in the animatic rather than adding it in. So we have this little monster thing.
That paper.
And I think I put like some kind of surprise or shock sound or something. I think there's actually some surprise clips or something. Come on, search for us. Surprise. No, maybe it was shock. Not chic. It's not a razor. It's telling me I need to shave. Okay, epic shock. Oh yeah, we want some epic shock. Whoa. Did anybody fall over? That shock was pretty epic. Let's see. So get rid of this. And now we're on shot 4. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to see what we're doing here, right? So we're just adding lines with the visuals and then throwing in sound effects where we feel it's needed and just, you know, trying to get the overall timing right for the stuff. So this is where she actually sees the monster and we don't.
Oh my God, John Boy, there's a horrible motherfucking monster right behind you, bitch.
So yeah, this is how you make an animatic. So you just go through.
Oh my God.
And throw your shots on here.
On
So
the internet.
you're making your movie just with stills and you're just making sure everything works right. So I'd say, I mean, if you have to spend extra time in the animatic, all the time you spend in the animatic, you're going to save when you actually get to making your movie. Because usually what people want to do is that they're so excited to actually make it, they just rush through the pre-production, they rush through the storyboards and the animatic, and then they get to actually making their film and getting to the shots, and then they're like, oh, this doesn't work. Oh, this is too slow. Oh, I don't need this. So that's what this animatic is for. It's to work out all the problems first, because this is cheap. This costs you nothing. Like, you're not rendering, you're not taking a power rendering. You know, if you're doing live action, you're not on a set with your crew waiting on you. You're not paying for stuff. So, I mean, I know we're all excited to actually see our films finished, but if you ask me, like, spend the extra time working it out here in the super basic phase where it's free. Because if it doesn't work, I mean, even this, I mean, it's not supposed to be great, but, you know, it has its gags, and you can kind of see how it will work in this animatic form. I mean, if it was totally flat and just was like, quack, then, I mean, we have to make changes, but it kind of works. So now I know that if I animate it, then it'll work even better because then it'll be animated. So yeah, if your stuff doesn't do what you want it to do, not even a little bit, in this super basic phase, then don't think that, oh, once it's all animated and moving, suddenly it's just going to be magical, because it's not. So, I mean, you need to make it work in here. So, what are my other thoughts on animatic? Go make one. So hopefully you're following along, and your short film will have an epic car in the sky that'll take people the way to heaven, like Gogito does. And yeah, this is from that movie, The Apple, if you ever seen that. Like some car shows up with God, and the hippies go away to heaven. But yeah. So yeah, this is all we're doing. And then with these multi-tracks, what you do with this usually, I won't do it with this project because I don't, you know, it's just super ghetto. But so say you're working with like your audio guy, like a post audio guy who's gonna like sweeten up your soundtrack or do your final mix, or even your sound design and everything else. You want to give them a reference, but normally if you just send them a WAV or an AIFF, an AIF, it would mix all these tracks down, and you see like in this one there's like 7 or something. It would mix them all down to a stereo track, which wouldn't be too good for your audio person or you if you're doing audio, because you would want to say these were final. This was like the final voice acting. So if you want to use them exactly where they are, then if you just got a stereo track, it would be mixed with the music and all this stuff, so it'd be worthless. So they'd have to manually replace them. But if that's what the file format OMF is for, so when you export this, it'll export your multi-tracks. So it'll send them out one file, and then when they open it in Cubase or Nuendo or Studio One or Pro Tools or whatever they're using, it'll bring in all these multi-tracks. where they are. So then they just bring the video file in and they can work with it like you worked with it. So that's generally what you do with the animatic. So since you already saw this epic thing,
Oh my god!
I'm not going to go through and do the whole one because I think, yeah, it's easy to understand how it goes, and this is all you do. So you just work on the timing and do all that stuff, and it'll let you know if your movie's going to work or not. So I would say that this one, yes, it works very well. And if anybody wants to, I forgot to model this car. This car.
Oh, and shit. Go.
So if somebody out there wants to like draw a car, like the fancier and like dumb looking, the better, like with giant rims and like maybe a gigantic spoiler and all this crap. Just a 2D drawing, and then I'll put it in the movie. It'll just like fly. So if anybody wants to draw this Gogito car, just draw one and like send me a link to it or something, and I'll totally put it in our award-winning short film. Um, don't look at this. That's bad. So that's the end of this tutorial, and I think in the next one I'll actually be animating this Oscar award-winning, critically acclaimed film. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and hopefully you're following along and you're going to make your own amazing short film too. I just want to show you how easy it is, so hopefully you go out there and do it too if you've convinced yourself that it's too complicated or something, because it's not. It's really simple. You just have to break it down step by step, and I'm trying to show you the steps that I follow, laying down the various blueprints that allow me to just work and not really think about what I'm doing too much or worry about it. You just follow the steps, and in the end you'll have a movie. And if you follow the steps accordingly and did the work and made the changes, it'll be a movie that you actually want. And yeah. So until next time, your pal M. Strang saying, peace out.